Departing Lock 6 at Frankfurt, we carry on along a man-made canal, which takes us past a small grocery store and gas station, both within easy walking distance of the lock. A short ways up, the canal narrows to a point, wide enough for only one boat to pass through at a time, so keep an eye out for oncoming traffic and monitor your VHF radio. Afterwards, the Trent River once again opens up and returns to a more natural state. But as always, keep an eye on your charts and the navigation buoys, as the small craft route follows a defined and very well marked path along the river. When passing through some of the older locks, like here, Lock 7 at Glen Ross, your boat may sit higher out of the water when it reaches the top of the lock, so be sure to always adjust your fenders accordingly at each lock. When you reach the top of Lock 7, you'll notice the swing bridge, which is also operated by the lock staff. They'll stop the road traffic, allowing the boats to freely pass through. Just beyond the road bridge, you'll see the now obsolete railway swing bridge, which is no longer operating and remains in the open position. Leaving the short canal returns us to the Trent River and the roughly 12.5 miles to the next lock. Roughly a third of the way along, you'll probably notice increased activity from the Island Park Resort and surrounding cottages. Lock 8 at Percy Reach marks the first of 5 in as many miles. This quiet area also provides a great place to spot wild birds, from osprey to blue heron. Just past Lock 9, we'll see the first of a series of cribbing that was installed back in the heyday of the logging days in the last century. We'll see more of these as we get closer to Hastings. Lock 10 at mile 28 marks the last of the conventional locks that we'll be passing through before arriving at Campbellford. With the Rainy Gorge Suspension Bridge in sight, that means we're about to enter the first of 2 flight locks along the Trent Severn Waterway. Flight locks are simply 2 conventional locks joined in sequence where a great change in elevation occurs. Handling a flight lock is not much different than passing through a traditional lock, other than the fact that you'll be transiting 2 locks in rapid succession. Once your boat has reached the top of the chamber, wait for the lock doors to open and simply pass through into the next locking chamber. But as always, wait for any special instructions that the lock staff may have, as there may be oncoming vessels heading downstream. Once cleared of the locks at Rainy Falls, it's only a quick 1 mile upstream run to our next destination and stop for the night, the town of Campbellford. The town of Campbellford straddles the Trent Canal at mile 31 of the Trent Severn Waterway and is a popular stopover for boaters heading both up and downstream. The western shore is home to Old Mill Park and the very long and easy to access boaters tie-up wall. Here you'll find 30 amp shore power connections as well as limited fresh water connections. Right alongside the tie-up wall is the visitor center, where you'll find both washroom and shower facilities for boaters. Across from Old Mill Park on the eastern shore, there's also tie-ups for boats with limited shore power connections. A quick walk across the bridge will take you into downtown Campbellford, where you'll find shops, services, restaurants, and of course, world-famous Dewar's Bakery. Along with playing host to visiting boaters, Old Mill Park is also home to live music throughout the summer, as well as the very popular annual Waterfront Festival. Inside the park is also a 20-foot high replica of the Canadian $2 coin, the toonie, placed in honor of local artist Brent Townsend, whose work appears on the coin. With its natural surroundings, Loch 13 offers peaceful solitude while being only a short walk back into town. Loch 14 at Crow Bay actually sits on a man-made island which is flanked by a hydroelectric generating plant on the east and a water control dam to the west. The roughly 2-mile run up Crow Bay leads us into Loch 15, Healy Falls, which is quickly followed by Loch 16-17, the flight locks at Healy Falls. The large structure you'll see on your starboard side is a hydroelectric generating plant capable of outputting over 100,000 megawatt hours of electricity annually. These impressive flight locks at Healy Falls provide boaters with an equally impressive combined lift of 76 feet. Exiting the top of the flight locks, you'll find a very long tie-up wall. If the weather's good, plan on spending a little bit of time here as you can walk over and check out the beautiful falls on the east side of the river. Leaving Healy Falls behind, we'll wind our way through picturesque Seymour Lake. As pretty as it is, the lake also has a number of marshy, shallow areas, so once again, it's imperative to keep an eye on your charts and follow the well-marked channel through the lake. At the top of Seymour Lake, just past Hardy Island, we'll pass through the hamlet of Trent River. Please remember to be mindful of your speed and your wake when traveling close to the shore here or anywhere else along the waterway. Heading southwest along the Trent River, we are greeted by ancient cribbing, marking the final approach to our next destination, the village of Hastings. When approaching Loch 18 at Hastings, favor the north side of the river, which will be to your starboard side. Also be aware of potentially strong currents coming from the water control dam located just to the south side of the loch. The Hastings Loch has an easy 9-foot lift, but you may have a slight delay when reaching the top as you wait for the loch staff to swing the road bridge. Immediately past the swing bridge and clear of the loch is the popular boaters tie-up wall along the north shore of the river. If you're hoping to stop and there's not enough room at the tie-up wall, the municipally run Hastings Village Marina is located directly across the river on the south side. The marina has numerous seasonal and transient slips available and offers both 30 and 50 amp shore power, fresh water, as well as pump outs right at each dock. With its convenient location, it's a quick and easy walk across the bridge, past the loch, and into the heart of town. Here you'll find a grocery store, numerous restaurants, and even a beer and liquor store. Or dinghy across to the boaters tie-up wall to pick up your essentials. When When you get back, get ready to take in one of the many beautiful sunsets you'll experience along the Trent Severn Waterway. Just after departing Hastings, you'll encounter a railway swing bridge. Although no longer operating and remaining in the open position, the passage can be narrow for larger boats, so keep an eye out for oncoming traffic. From this point, it's a roughly 6-mile run up the Trent River to Rice Lake, where you're bound to see lots of activity as the shore is lined with both private cottages as well as seasonal businesses. And let's not forget the thing that this area is most famous for, the great fishing. If you need fuel before crossing Rice Lake, Lang's Resort, located at mile 58 of the small craft route, offers gasoline, pump out, and they even have a few overnight slips. At mile 61, you'll pass by Hickory Island to your port side. Keep an eye out for the landmark fire tower located on the island. Crossing the main body of Rice Lake, you'll encounter these white and black fairway markers, helping you identify the small craft route. At roughly mile 67, there's a buoyed channel that provides the only safe passage through an old railway cribbing that spans the lake here. Just past that point, there's a floating day beacon marking the entrance to the Otonabee River. At this point, you make a sharp starboard turn to begin your trek northward on the river. From this point, the Otonabee meanders for 20 miles up to Peterborough, and you'll be sharing the river with fishermen, kayakers, local boaters, as well as those transiting between Peterborough and Rice Lake. Although some may choose to run the river at speed, we recommend going slow to take in all the beauty. And trust me, it's even prettier on a sunny day. Arriving at the southern part of Peterborough, you'll pass under the provincial Highway 7 bridge and then on to the channel that leads up to the next lock, Lock 19 at Scott's Mills. The design of this lock is fairly unique in that it has what could be best described as buttresses that jut out on either end of the lock chamber. Traveling in a larger vessel, or one that's not equipped with bow thrusters, try staying at the back of the lock when locking through. This will make it a lot easier to push off the wall and exit the lock comfortably at the top. Immediately north of the lock, you'll come to another railway swing bridge. This is another narrow passage, so exercise caution. Roughly a half a mile further up, you'll have a choice to either continue northward on the Trent Canal or make a left and head into Little Lake. Green-red-green bifurcation buoy marks a split in the route and the point to turn westerly if you want to head into Peterborough. The unmistakable Centennial Fountain in the middle of Little Lake helps guide you into Peterborough Marina. Keep this to your port hand side as you approach the docks. The municipally run Peterborough Marina offers 90 slips for both seasonal as well as transient boaters, has 15, 30, and 50 amp shore power connection, and can accommodate the largest of visiting vessels. Their easy-to-access fuel dock has both gasoline and diesel available, as well as a pump-out service and fresh water. For the travel weary, there's a Holiday Inn hotel immediately next door to the marina, which features a restaurant as well as an outdoor patio. Being situated right in the heart of Peterborough means getting to most services and amenities only a short walk away, for anyone. Also located here are lift lock cruises, offering sightseeing, luncheon, and dinner cruises. For those folks that don't have their own boat, this is a great way to get on the water and explore the beautiful Trent Severn Waterway firsthand. Adjacent to the marina is Del Curry Park, home to the very popular Peterborough Music Fest, which holds free concerts under the band shell throughout the summer. You can listen to the music right from your boat, or grab a lawn chair, head over to the park, and watch the show.